coronavirus spread narrows in Italy, but Spain reports a record death toll and Britain says it's on an emergency footing. European Union nations pitch in with evacuation flights and medical equipment to help Italy fight the virus. There were signs that the spread of coronavirus in Italy was narrowing this weekend after the number of deaths fell for the second consecutive day. The Civil Protection Agency also recorded the lowest number of new infections in 4 days. Experts said it was a sign that the country's sweeping lockdown was having an effect, but restrictions are unlikely to be lifted soon. Those are big changes, like 10 to 15% per day. They reflect the fact that the system is responding and that the measures put in place bring effect. With our actions, we can save lives. There are now nearly 750,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 worldwide. Over 33,500 carriers of the virus have died. More than half of those are in Italy and Spain, where the authorities in Madrid have turned an ice rink into a morgue to handle the bodies. Spain said that almost 840 people had died on Saturday, a record for the country. The authorities said the number of people in intensive care units was still rising and putting a strain on hospitals, prompting Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez to order all non-essential workers to stay indoors for a fortnight. In a deserted London, the government said the entire country was now on an emergency footing and warned people that it could be 6 months before the country returns to normal. Officials said it will be dangerous to suddenly lift Britain's confinement because it could cause a resurgence of the virus.
The large number of COVID-19 patients in France's northeastern Grand Est region has overwhelmed the area's hospitals. The crisis has resulted in an operation to transfer sufferers by rail and air to other regions and countries with the capacity to help. Several patients were flown to Germany and Switzerland, while specially adapted trains took large numbers to the southwestern Bordeaux region of France. Despite good infrastructure, the Ile-de-France region that includes the capital Paris remains the hotbed of the outbreak. 2,606 people have now died in the country, around 300 of them in the past 24 hours. Private clinics are stepping in to try to take some of the strain off the public health service, but they too are rapidly filling up.
We've been obliged to turn some people away because the resuscitation capacities in Ile-de-France are completely saturated. When we have patients arriving in an emergency, we're not able to accommodate them.
Something else doctors say is running out is blood for transfusions. Confinement has caused a drop in donations, but in the southwestern city of Toulouse, people have been queuing up to give blood. It's needed not just for coronavirus cases, but for patients with regular conditions too.
A military helicopter transferring 2 patients from Metz in northeastern France to Germany, part of the Europe-wide effort to help ease the burden in countries worst affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Germany has many coronavirus cases but a lower death rate, which means its hospitals aren't as overwhelmed and its military medevac planes can bring patients in from other countries. I believe that after the crisis, more Europe will be needed, and we will take care of it accordingly, the country's finance minister says. Solidarity is now required in our country, in Europe, and also worldwide. 6 Italian patients were flown out of Bergamo on Saturday morning to be treated at hospitals in Cologne and other German cities. Europe must show if it is up to this call of history, the Prime Minister said. History makes no warning when it comes, especially with such an unexpected, unpredicted emergency. 30 doctors and nurses arrived from Albania to help Italy fight the emergency. They arrived in Verona, where the airport was reopened to let their flight land. They will work in the hospitals of Brescia and Bergamo, the areas most affected by the pandemic. And Czech authorities have sent a shipment of medical supplies, including 20,000 protective suits that it had received from China. The disposable suits will be used by local medical staff stationed both in Italy and in Spain, the second worst hit country by the coronavirus outbreak.